One of the biggest misconceptions that I've seen when it comes to entrepreneurship is that it somehow destroys your work-life balance. Let me rest assured, you definitely want to do this because your work-life balance is going to get better, not worse, if you do it the right way. So if you want to learn how my work-life balance has improved, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I've seen when it comes to entrepreneurship is that it somehow destroys your work-life balance, right? So I know that that's a rumor going around, and I call it a rumor because I'll be honest, for me, since becoming an entrepreneur, I have to say my work-life balance has never been better. So if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, particularly if you're thinking about making the transition, maybe from your corporate career to a coach, but they're already beating you down at your corporate job, you're working crazy hours, and you're like, you know what, I don't know that I want to do this for myself. Let me rest assured, you definitely want to do this because your work-life balance is going to get better, not worse, if you do it the right way. So if you want to learn how my work-life balance has improved since becoming an entrepreneur and the ways that I made that happen, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Okay, so the first way that my work-life balance improved was I got to control my own schedule. I remember getting up, rushing in the morning, either driving down to work or rushing to the bus stop because I had a bus pass that my job would give you so that I could, get to work. And I typically would opt for the bus pass because I like to bring my personal laptop on the bus and I could work on my Wi-Fi hotspot while I was going to work. So I will admit I made it work. I did work super early in the morning. Again, I opted for the bus pass instead of a parking pass at work because I was like, I'm gonna work while I'm on the bus. And then I, of course, made my lunch breaks work for me. I remember recording so many podcasts from my phone in my car on my lunch break, or again, taking my personal laptop with me to, wherever I was eating lunch at the time and trying to get a lot of work done. But I gotta admit, I'm really grateful that I don't have to do that anymore. And I'm really grateful that I can create a schedule that works for me. Now, full disclosure, I still get up insanely early. I won't even say how early I get up. In fact, I'll encourage you to watch this podcast where I talk about why I get up at extreme early hours, but it really works for me. I also go to bed early, so I'm getting my full, I won't say 8 hours of sleep, but I'm getting 6 to 7 because I go to bed very early because I get up very early, but I love it. I feel so much more productive. And more than that, I really love that I'm able to control my schedule when it comes to being around my family and my kids. So part of the reason why I do that is because I have early morning drop-offs. My kids are in school, and so I wanted to make sure that I had ample time to work before they go to school, but then also time to rest during the day. I get up pretty early, but sometimes I need a nap or I need a little break. And I just love that flexibility. I really love that I am not locked into those standard 9 to 5 hours, which, if we're being honest, is really 7 to 6 or 7 to 7 when you're factoring in that commute time. And yeah, you have a lunch break, but is it really a lunch break? You're eating lunch in your cubicle, or you're rushing down the street to go somewhere that you might not want to go to. I love that, on a random Tuesday at 1 p.m., if I decide that I want to have a long lunch and I want to go have one of my famous CEO lunches, which I also talk about on this channel, at a really swanky restaurant, I'm able to do that because I'm in control of my own schedule. And just in terms of mental peace that has brought me and just general wellness and feelings of happiness, I can't describe it. The benefits have been great. So that's the first way that entrepreneurship really works for me and my work-life balance. All right, the second way that being an entrepreneur has allowed me to increase my work-life balance, not take it away, is that it allows me to build in that self-care. So as I mentioned previously, I am good for taking myself on a 2-hour lunch, yes, with wine, in the middle of the day, just because I need to clear my headspace. And part of the reason that I do that is I consider that a form of self-care. And I am very, very big on self-care. So I am a Peloton mom. Yes, I'm one of those crazy Peloton moms who's always on her bike. I love that in my home office, I have my bike, and so I'm able to work out every day, get that done, get my bike riding in. Again, I love the push, and it just really helps me clear my head. I love that I can schedule spa days, again, whenever. I can, go to my esthetician, get a facial, kind of do whatever I need to do just for my personal wellness. Again, workout classes, just doing whatever I want to do around the city, and I'm able to work that around my schedule. Again, I'm getting up crazy early, so it's not that I'm not working, and I think that's a misconception that people have with entrepreneurship, is that they see you live in this kind of, do what you want lifestyle, and they're like, oh, you never work. And that's definitely not the case. I work. I certainly work a lot. There's a lot to be done, especially as my business is growing and I'm bringing on more team members. There's more hours that I've had to put in, but again, it's that flexibility. So I feel like the self-care thing, controlling your own schedule really go hand in hand. Because I control my schedule, I'm able to incorporate self-care even as I'm adding extra hours to my workload. So if I need to spend extra time shooting videos like this, or I have more meetings because I'm onboarding different team members, no sweat. I can say, hey, we're gonna have the meeting, at noon, and then I'm gonna take my lunch at 2, where when I was working a corporate job, that was kind of tricky because I was beholden to someone else's schedule, and there was a certain time that I needed to be at my desk every day and a certain time that I was allowed to go take lunch. So I really love being able to build in self-care, and I find that that helps me stay consistent with my self-care, which again, really contributes to my mental peace. And I find that I have a great attitude most days because I'm taking care of me, even as I'm taking care of business. All right, the next way, and probably my favorite way, you can already see it on my face, how entrepreneurship has really increased my work-life balance is that it has allowed me to travel more. Oh my goodness. There was one thing that brought dread to me in corporate America. It was in the summer, taking your week off or whatever, your 2 weeks vacation, and getting ready to go somewhere, only to think about, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to come back and this is just a vacation, right? This is not my real life. I love that I get to take vacations more than once a year. I love that I get to be gone for more than a week. In fact, as I'm recording this in my house right now because there's a lot of planning and different things that I'm doing for my South African retreat, and I'm gonna be down there for 2 weeks, right? So that wouldn't have been an option for me if I were still working in corporate America. I love that if I wanna travel in the summer, I can travel in the summer, but if I wanna travel in the winter, I could travel in the winter too. In fact, my retreat takes place in February. I'm hosting it in February, I'm going down there. When I was working a corporate job, that would have been an issue because it wasn't around holiday times, or it wasn't in the summer where people were expecting you to be out of the office. In spring breaks, if I wanna take my kids to Disney World or do something extended, I love that I get to do that. And I'm a big travel buff. I love seeing new places, and I really just love taking in new experiences. I find that it helps me really stay creative. It helps me come up with different insights that I often use in my coaching. So it's this beautiful cycle where I'm taking care of myself, I'm traveling, I'm seeing new things, and it ends up making my business better. But bar none, hands down, entrepreneurship has provided the greatest opportunity for me to travel and to see the world. In fact, I even have a video that you can check out here that's all about how you can incorporate travel in your business. I even talk about how I use credit card points to allow me to travel. Oftentimes I'm able to travel business class or first class on points. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out that video. But this is one of my favorite work-life balance things about being an entrepreneur. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I wanna hear from you. What are you looking to add into your life when it comes to work-life balance? Share in the comments below. All right, the fourth way that entrepreneurship has allowed me to increase my work-life balance is allowing me to bond with my family more. So I kind of touched on that a bit with the travel because I find that I'm often incorporating the two, but one of the benefits of being able to travel, especially as an entrepreneur where you're the boss and it's your company, is that you get to take your family with you. So my husband is coming with me on my South African trip. I look forward to the day where my kids are old enough to withstand the super long flight in order to get over there, but I will be taking them with me as well. But I've taken them on business trips. I remember some years back, I was in a mastermind that took place in Tampa, Florida. And so it was really awesome that I was able to pay for tickets for my parents, their grandparents to come out to Florida with me. And they watched the kids while I was in my sessions during the day. And then in the evening, we would go to the beach and go out as a family. I've taken my husband with me again on several trips. I recently went to LA. In fact, I have a vlog that you can check out on this channel all about our LA trip and how I took him with me, and it was really cool. It's for my friend's book signing, so we're able to build in, a bit of date nights and romance and all of that stuff, even while I'm working on my business. So I just love that I get to spend more time with my family. Again, yes, sometimes I'm working at odd hours, working early in the morning or firing up my laptop late at night if there's things that I need to get done. But to me, it's totally worth it because I'm able to spend more time with my family during the day without worrying about, oh my goodness, I have to be at at my desk between 9 to 5 and I have to squeeze in time with my family on the weekends or, you know, in the evening where everybody's tired and is getting ready for bed. I love that we get to have these long stretches of time, we get to do fun things, and we get to really make memories together. So my kids really love going to Florida. They have those memories. Again, I have those memories whether it's in LA or South Africa with my husband, cool date nights that we've done. It just really has added to our entire family dynamic, and I'm so glad that I'm an entrepreneur. All right, the fifth way that being an entrepreneur has contributed to my work-life balance, and I'm gonna go here because it needs to be said, but that is that it has reduced financial stress. Now, it's kind of a trade-off because in other respects, it's increased financial stress in the business in the sense that there's, you know, more finances that I need to manage. In fact, just as a side note, I recently hired an outsourced CFO to help me manage, you know, sales team commissions and salaries for employees and all these different things. So I will say that having a business does increase complexity in your finances in the business, but it reduces financial stress personally, which is a big thing that I find that not enough people are talking about when it comes to work-life balance. For instance, my son has asthma, and I remember not too long ago, RSV was going around and he got a really bad case of it, and we had to rush him to the emergency room to receive a breathing treatment. I feel extremely grateful that while he was receiving care, I didn't have to worry about, oh my goodness, you know, how much is this bill gonna be? Is this gonna bankrupt us? And I know a lot of families really deal with that, and that's part of the reason why entrepreneurship is something that I'm so passionate about, because I really believe that more of us need to learn how to take control of our own economic futures and our own economic destinies. And being an entrepreneur, even if you work a full-time job and just have your business on the side, having that extra financial cushion, having that financial wherewithal, and being able to do what needs to be done because it's important or because you want to, and not necessarily because you have budget considerations, is a huge mental breather, right? So I know money doesn't buy happiness. I'm not saying money buys happiness, but I am saying that it can definitely reduce your stress, especially when you're thinking about, you know, healthcare issues and other things going on. You know, it's just better to have some more money saved up where you can take advantage of the things that you need to take advantage of. And also, I'll say for me, as a busy wife and mom, having more money to be able to afford support in the home has been very, very stress reducing for me, right? I have a housekeeper who comes. I have a nanny who's now transitioning to a house manager now that my kids are going to school. I have a meal prep chef that comes once a week in order to prepare healthy meals for the family. I've been able to hire interior decorators to kind of take this off my plate so I'm not stressing about getting the house together or making it look good, you know, when family is coming over for the holidays. So having that support is very, very helpful. And, you know, I know in America, we kind of balk at that and we're like, oh, you know, that's something only rich people do, or we kind of turn our nose up at it and think that it's something that's really outrageous. But I actually had a friend who was telling me that this is how her family in Nigeria lives, right? And while they're, you know, well off to a degree, they're not extraordinarily rich, but she was saying this is very commonplace in many parts of the world. It's expected that women are going to have help in the home. It's expected that women are gonna have help with childcare, whether it's through extended family members or other people that are supporting. And it seems like only in America do we have this very individualistic mindset where it's like all of this has to fall on the woman and, you know, she's just got to figure it out while also working a full-time job and taking care of the kids and doing all these things. So, you know, I won't go on my diatribe in terms of how our society is set up, but I will say that being an entrepreneur and creating more financial freedom for yourself eliminates a lot of those issues because you now have the finances to be able to support that. And I don't think that that's something we should turn our nose up at or something that we should think, oh, that's for other people, that's not for me. I'll tell you, that's for me. And hopefully it's for you too, especially if you will create a successful business. So hopefully this has opened your eyes to see the ways that entrepreneurship can actually improve your work-life balance, not make it worse. And if in particular, you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur as an online coach, and you're looking for something that is gonna allow you to not only get your certification, but also help you grow your coaching business, I am your girl. My CLS Coaching Certification Program is now live. It is not only an accredited coaching program that will show you not only how to coach, but how to come up with your own coaching methodology. But if that weren't enough, we also help you choose your niche. We show you how to create your own coaching packages. And if you so choose, we have an option where we will show you our entire marketing process and how you can build and launch your coaching business from scratch. So if that sounds of interest to you, go ahead and click the link below in order to apply for a call with my enrollment team, and they will walk through the entire process with you. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for for my next YouTube video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram, and it's CourtneyLSanders on TikTok. I'm on TikTok too. Follow me on both. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.